Welcome to the Book of Yugioh. My name is Josh, and in today's chapter, we're going to be discussing, reacting to, and reviewing the brand new Sky Striker support cards, courtesy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization. Shout out to them. And also, real quick, before I get into it, shout out to all y'all from the Scapegoats. Love you guys, appreciate the support. And if you're new here, well, you heard the intro. You basically know me already. And this is the unofficial first video to the channel. I say unofficial because this is not the type of content that is planned to be on the channel. But if you guys like it, feel free to drop a comment. Would be happy to work more of these card, archetype, discussion, reactions into it because they're always pretty fun, pretty easy to do. Going forward, though, you guys can expect some more ranking, listing type Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, which should be fun in their own way. And if you want to support the channel, best way to do that right now is with a like, a comment, a subscribe. Y'all know the deal. So with that said, let's jump into this thing with just kind of discussion on Sky Striker as a whole. So y'all that know me know Striker is my favorite deck of all time. It is also just my favorite deck experience to play in any TCG of all time. So I like it a lot, in short. And I've been playing Striker pretty much since the first 2 months after it came out in 2018. So a few years at this point. And with 100% honesty, I'll probably be playing Sky Striker forever. Either Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to die or I'm going to die before I stop playing Striker. Whatever comes first. In all seriousness, though. The deck is not in a great spot. It's definitely been in better ones. It's not something, in my opinion, that you can take to a regional YCS level, expect to get consistent results. For a few reasons, I think it's a bit slow. I think the card quality in general has been pretty outclassed by the top of the meta recently, and really even going back to last year. So, it's fighting an uphill battle, and so I'm hoping the support, I have heard good things so far, definitely brings it in. But yeah, still got some stuff to work with here. You have double engage, and multiple engage resolutions can keep you in the game against anything, at least for a little bit. We do have 3 multi-roll, which I don't think is as important as some people do, but it is cool. Ray is always a good card. Linkage was a great release, letting you cut down on rows and have more consistency and have a way to enable an OTK at the same time against an empty board. And playstyle-wise, you don't see a lot of going first Striker anymore. That's kind of devolved just to Shizuku Pass and hoping that you drew enough hard interruption to live till the next turn. More popular now is going second Striker and using cards like Triple Tactics Thrust to grab your power one-ofs, your power spells to break the board and seize advantage from there, because that's how Striker wins, establishing a simpler game state, taking a lead and advantage, and then snowballing that through repeated engage activations. So I'm hoping that these new cards, I know they're all monsters. That's the only spoiler that I've had so far. And that worries me a little bit, because going down here, we can see we already have 7 Link monsters competing for extra deck spots, and we want multiple of some of these as well. So extra deck space is really tight. You've got SP Little Knight as well competing for spots now. The new Typhon card, the Zeus kind of looking equivalent. So there is, I'm hoping these cards are maybe more main deck, or just really strong one-ofs in the extra deck, because there's not a lot of room to work with, as it is, in my opinion. But yeah, with that said, let's just jump into this thing. And the advance of the Sky Striker army, and we got some bounty over here, so maybe we'll need that after we read the cards to clean up, because the cards will be so good that you guys get it. You guys get it. Let's jump into the first one. We have, doesn't really look like a Sky Striker card. Pillar of the Future Cyanos. Light Machine effect monster, level 1, 500 attack, 1500 defense. This card is always treated as a Sky Striker card. Awesome. That does mean you can search it, but you can't go into your links with this because they require aces, I believe. Yeah, your main link 1s, of course, your 2s are generic, and it is a light, so you can go into those. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once per turn each. First effect, you can discard 1 spell for cost. Special summon this card from your hand. That is solid. You want spells in the graveyard, obviously, as Striker. I wish it didn't discard for cost, because, if they negate it or something, then you're just out that card. But it is a -2 in terms of hand advantage, but you do keep the card on the field, so really it's a -1, and could help get into your Link 2s, like your Camellia, and your Azaleas. But it's an okay effect. Not amazing yet. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon when Sky Striker Ace Rose from your deck or graveyard. Also, you cannot special monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except machines. That restriction's fine because you still get access to all your link monsters, so you're cool there. Summoning Rose from deck, that is cool. Most lists are probably just playing one Rose now that you have linkage, or no Rose even, but maybe this gives you a reason to play it. So it is essentially a one card link 2, which is nice to go into Azalea. That can give you a pop, help play into that board breaker style thing, or play style, I should say. Camellia to get a dump if you want to do that. So yeah, I mean, that's solid. And third effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, take one of your Sky Striker Ace Rose that is banished or in your graveyard, and either add it to the hand or special summon it. So this is cool, I think, overall with those 3 effects, in the sense that even though it works off of Rose and not Ray, and Ray is the better card, it can get you into a Link 2, right? Excuse me. It can get you into a Link 2, and since it's using Rose, once you're done with all that stuff, the next turn you can banish it from your graveyard and then get your Rose back. So it gives you a little bit more recursion, and that's one of the biggest problems with Striker 2, starting with the release of Bishiels, really, is hitting Ray in the graveyard is really bad. If you, as a Striker player, can't establish and maintain your Ray loop, you're in big trouble, because you need that to keep recurring your engages, get into your Kagaris, all that good stuff. So this gives you some insulation against that, so could definitely see this card being played, although I don't think this by itself is enough to push Striker that much higher, but it is cool. But let's move on to a Link 3 monster, Sky Striker Ace Azalea Temperance. Okay, so this is what I was afraid of, getting a bunch of extra deck stuff, but just one so far. Hopefully it's just like a very strong one of, let's see, Dark Machine, Link Effect, Link 3, 2500. Its Link arrows are left, right, and bottom. 2+ monsters, including a Link monster. So it is generic. It just requires a Link monster. Must first be Link summoned. That is notable because linkage special summons your links from the extra deck. It does not Link summon them. So that is why Zeke, Azalea, and Camellia have the must first be Link summoned clause, so that you cannot linkage them out. This has the same one, which makes sense. It's a Link 3, so they don't want you cheating this out. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. This, if this card is special summoned, you can only... If this card is special summoned, you can banish one spell from your hand or graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with 2500 or less attack. Equip that face-up monster to this card as an equip spell. That is solid. You probably aren't going to want to banish spells from your hand, but it's Striker. By the time that you have enough to go into a Link 3, you're going to have spells in graveyard more likely than not. So banishing one from the grave is probably not that big of a deal, and it is unique removal. It does target, which sucks. Sky Striker could definitely use more non-targeting removal, but it equips the monster, so it gets around stuff that can't be destroyed. Yeah, and the cool thing with that too is if you're playing, multi-role, Area 0, that type of stuff, you can use that equip monster then as value for those cards to send off of multi-role or to get a pot of duality essentially off of Area 0. So that's nice. I don't think it's amazing, but it is nice. Second effect, when this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one other Sky Striker monster from your hand or graveyard. Okay. That is good too. Definitely not an effect that I would complain about. But it is a Link 3, so I guess if you are going Cyanos, summoning itself and getting Rose, it doesn't use your normal. You can still get Ray. That's your Link 3. I don't know why you would go into this specifically with all that, though. I don't think this card's that great. But, maybe you play one of it if you really value that unique removal. And it is big, 2,500, but Zeke can get up to 2,500 as well by sending a card. So, it's fine. It's fine. Let's move on. No picture for the next one. Okay. This is Combination Maneuver Engage 0. So this is a machine Link. Okay, another Link effect monster. It's light. It's Link 2, attack 1,500, and its arrows are left and right. Okay. Link 2 is better than Link 3, I think. There is also actually, as a quick break, a Link 4 Sky Striker that got announced, Spectra. I believe is what it's called. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's essentially a negate if you banish 2 spells from the graveyard. I don't think that card's great, at least not in Striker, because getting up into a Link 4 is not easy. And if you're doing that, you probably would rather go for something like Access Code. And banishing 2 spells from your grave is not great either. And every time you want to negate, you have to do that. You're going to run out of material pretty fast for that. So Spectra, not great, but maybe this one will be. So this requires 2 light and or dark monsters, which is like, okay, your Cyanos is light, your New Azalea Temperance is dark, Ray is dark, Rose is light, all good there. This card is always treated as a Sky Striker ace card. Okay, cool. So then you can go into your other links with it, which is nice. You can only special summon combination maneuver engage 0 once per turn. Cannot be used as link material. Never mind. So if you go into this card, you're stuck with it. So this better be good. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 monster on the field with 2,500 or more attack, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Okay, that is solid. Definitely won't complain about an imperm. At the start of the damage step, second effect, if this card attacks and you have Sky Striker Ace Ray and Sky Striker Ace Rose in your graveyard, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Huh? Okay. That is cool. So before tackling those, though, one cool thing. So we see up here, Temperance has this must be first be link summon clause. So do the other links. This one does not. And it's always treated as a Sky Striker Ace card. So even in the extra deck. So you can summon this off of linkage, which is really cool because it essentially turns lost connection. Great. It essentially turns linkage into a negate of a monster with 2,500 or more attacks. So that is actually super useful to just be able to linkage into this. So I like it just for that already. You're definitely playing this at least at 1. And then I like its second effect too. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you get to, you have Ray and Rose in grave, you get to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That's big. Sky Striker didn't really have any like mass removal in engine like that. You were just relying on your non-engine, which could make for some awkward hands sometimes, right? Even if you're playing the going second version, it's pretty consistent. But if you don't draw those power spells, it's really hard sometimes to break a board unless you draw like a critical mass of like Widow Anchors and Imperms or something. So I like the ability for that, and definitely feels like they're playing more into this going second version of Striker. I would say, like, how realistic is it that you get Ray and Rose in graveyard though? I would actually say it's pretty realistic. So like using these, okay, I'm kind of making sense of this now. You can go Cyanos, right? Discard a spell. Let's say you're going second. You have 6 spells in your hand. Let's pretend your opponent has no negates. You discard a spell, summon this card. Okay. On summon, this card summons a Rose. So now you have Cyanos and Rose on field. Rose goes into Hayate. Hayate attacks into something bigger than it, dumps Ray. Hayate dies. Ray comes out. Then you can... No, because this triggers at the start of the damage step, and you have to have Ray and Rose in graveyard, but you can make this pre that. So you can actually, reverse that. So you can just take 2, you have 3 monsters on field, Cyanos, Rose, and Ray. You take 2 of them and make this. You take the other one, make Hayate. Hayate dump the other one. Oh, wait, no, I'm stupid. You don't even have to do that. You just have both of them there. Just take Ray and Rose and make this card. What am I talking about? So actually with Cyanos, it's pretty easy to get into this if your opponent doesn't negate it. So I do like it for that. Do I think these cards are amazing? I don't know. I mean, I've heard really good things. I do not think just on the surface these are enough to bring Sky Striker back into like heavy meta contention. I think these cards are solid. But I could also see a world where like Cyanos isn't even really played. I think I would still play it though, at least one of, because it's nice to have for the insurance against your Ray loop. Getting banished by like Abyss Shield or something. And I mean, the cool thing too with this engage 0, it's generic to light and or darks. If you're playing Bestials in the deck, having a Bestial plus a Ray or a Rose already threatens Chaos Angel. You can also threaten this combination maneuver Engage 0 if you have a way to get the other one engraved, which should be pretty easy, more or less. So yeah, I think Engage 0 probably makes its way into the deck. Nice to just have that field blow up if you want. Also, I think makes cards like Change of Heart, Mind Control a lot better in the deck. Or cards like, you're already playing like Triple Tactics Thrust to grab talents to steal to go into something like this. So yeah, I think these cards are solid. I think they help. I don't even know if it brings Striker really into like tier 2 status, because I think it's lower than that. I think it's in a rogue tier, but maybe I'm missing something. Again, I've played the deck a lot, but I haven't played it as much lately, so maybe it's better than I think. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. I am happy about this, though. As a Sky Striker player, definitely cannot complain that the deck keeps seeming to get waves of support, no doubt in thanks to the mangas that they've written for it. So yeah, not going to complain about getting more Sky Striker cards. Don't think it's enough, but definitely am happy to see these at the very least. So with that said, like I said, if you want to support the channel, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. With that said, I'll catch you in the next chapter and the official first video. Everyone have a fantastic day or a fantastic night. Bye.